review. Gonna do my WWE Smackdown, February 9th, 2024. Gonna talk about Smackdown tonight. I will also talk about um the WrestleMania press conference that happened last night at the press conference. There's a lot to talk about here. Now, I'm gonna go through what happened at the press conference. I'll talk about SmackDown. I'll make it about an hour and a half long. My video is sponsored by Salamat the Sound Off, JD from New York, Just Alex, Fightful Wrestling, Dan Tony, The Wrestling Inc., Argo. I got more in the way to hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see more. Um, here we go. Here we go. So, there's a lot to talk about. What happened at the WWE press conference and on SmackDown tonight. Now, as you guys know, the chamber is set. The election chamber is set. Now, the chamber in Perth, Australia, on Saturday, February 2024. The show gonna be pretty early. Gonna be at 5 o'clock. Now, here's the. Oh wait, hold on. Here's the WrestleMania show that was like an hour long. You see Walking Roman Reigns arrive. There's a lot about the kickoff show, really. A lot happened on this show last night. The show, we saw the promo with the superstars. Triple H got entrance, he opened the show. He gets the road WrestleMania into gear. Bianca Belair came out. It ready to start her journey to WrestleMania. We don't know who's going to wrestle at WrestleMania. She's on SmackDown, so maybe Jay Cardell, Tiffany Stratton, we don't know. We also got Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. She and Rhea, they're foreshadowing the match at WrestleMania. I think Becky will win the chamber for the woman in Australia. Um, I think we will get this match. It's gonna be a very interesting match. It's already been set up. Now, the only thing that mattered was the ending with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. A lot of confusion. There's a lot interesting. A lot of things could happen on SmackDown. Roman Reigns comes out here, chooses The Rock. The Rock shows the bloodline bracket. It was actually very, very good. A lot of people thought it was going to be Rock and Roman Reigns. Rock said there's only one royal family in WWE. And then Cody Rhodes comes out and said that BS. So Cody Rhodes finally announced that he's going to choose Roman Reigns. They tried to swerve it. I think it was going to be Seth Rollins, but it wasn't. Cody Rhodes choose Roman Reigns. And now it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. They already announced it. They made it seem like it was going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns after we saw on SmackDown last week. But Cody Rhodes, it still didn't change the fact that Cody Rhodes looked like an idiot last week, looked stupid by saying, I'm going to finish my story but not at WrestleMania, and just handed his opportunity to The Rock. And on Monday Night Raw, he didn't say anything on why he did that. But here at the press conference last night, he said the connect Roman Reigns wants to finish the story. And then Roman Reigns got in the face of Cody Rhodes and pretty much buried him. He also buried Seth Rollins, calling him, I'll go after the consolation part, go after the loser bracket. And then Cody Rhodes got in his face first, and then Roman Reigns brought up his father, saying that you're irrelevant just like your dad. And I got old. And then Cody Rhodes talked about his family. What if your grandfather and the Rock's grandfather were disappointed in you? And then the Rock took offense to that. And he said, if you talk about his family, you talk about his ancestors, you talk about his blood, you're talking about my family, my ancestors, my blood. And The Rock smacked Cody Rhodes. He bitch slapped Cody Rhodes right here. He slapped him so hard. And this was a shoot. This was not planned. It was not scripted. This was not a word. This was a shoot. This was legit. And then they started going at it. And then we saw Roman Reigns and the Rock back there with Triple H. Rock curses out Triple H, telling him to fix it or I will. Because Rock is a member of the TKO board. He's on the board of directors for TKO. He told Triple H, fix it or I will. He also said the F word. The F word was dropped a lot. The shocking part, a lot of people, me included, did not expect The Rock and Roman Reigns to stand side by side and leave the winner together. Clearly, it's not going to be Rock versus Roman 1-on-1. It's not going to be a double main event. We could be looking at a triple threat match at WrestleMania. The Rock is already scheduled to compete at WrestleMania. He's already set in the main event. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. It could be a triple threat match. And it looked like we could get the tag team match with Rock and Roman, Seth and Cody at the Chamber. If Seth Rollins is clear to wrestle, if he's good to go, I hope he didn't get injured. Now, also, what happened on SmackDown, we had Triple H come out here and assert his authority following the WrestleMania kickoff show. And then they did announce Seth freaking Rollins' WrestleMania challenge to be set in the Elimination Chamber. They announced 12 people who are going to be in qualifying matches for the next 2 weeks on Raw and SmackDown. Raw guys and SmackDown guys are going to be in the chamber to face Seth Rollins. We had Drew McIntyre defeated AJ Styles with the help of LA Knight. Gonna get LA Knight to feud with AJ. Drew McIntyre seemed to be the favorite to win. We have Bianca Belair defeated Michin in a pretty short match. So Bianca, who's on SmackDown, is going to be in the Raw chamber to see who's going to face Rhea Ripley. We know that Becky Lynch is already she qualified this Monday. We also got Bailey came out. Obviously, addressed what happened last week. Dakota Kai, she wasn't on TV last week. You know, she's still injured. She still had a torn ACL, so she's still injured. She still hasn't wrestled. She also came. I was wondering what is her role play with the damage control storyline, with damage control and Bailey. Now she actually helped Bailey fend out damage control, so she's on her side clearly. You know, I'm just still building EO and Bailey, and Dakota can be on her side. I'm looking forward to it. We also had DIY versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Winner faced Judgment Day for the tag team title at the Chamber in Australia. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate won, so they will face the Judgment Day. We have 4 matches on the pay-per-view. We have 2 Chamber matches. We have Judgment Day, Pete Dunne versus and Tyler Bate, and we got Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Those are 4 matches on the Chamber. You need one more match. And I think it's going to be Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and possibly Seth Rollins, because they need a big big star. You need a bigger point on that pay-per-view. It makes sense. So I think that will happen. It has to happen. Also, Randy Orton defeated Sami Zayn to qualify. I was hoping Sami Zayn would win, but Randy Orton did. It may come down to Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Then what's Sami Zayn doing on WrestleMania? We don't know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of things to talk about WrestleMania. These are the other podcasters. Triple H starts a war with The Rock. Seth Rollins' WrestleMania plans. Triple H shows his authority. Now, Cody Rhodes was supposed to be on the show. He was advertised, but he got pulled because of what happened last night. Same thing with The Rock and with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman backstage told Triple H that The Rock and Roman Reigns will be here next week to address what happened. The Rock wants Triple H to fix it, but Triple H confirmed it's gonna be Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. That could change, by the way. We still got 2 months to WrestleMania. We got all these Raw and SmackDown shows to build up to lead into WrestleMania. We still don't know what can happen. The Rock is in some trouble. Alright. Oh, come on. Enough of these damn commercials. Get out of here.
And you're only saying that to get a reaction out of everybody who said for weeks that this wasn't a fucking work. And all I'm gonna do is hit delete.
The Rock tell Triple H it doesn't matter where you are.
Goodbye. Don't want to hear it. We're gonna go over what Triple H said. I enjoyed what he said. I enjoyed that he's a character on this show, in this role. because it's basically his creative and his guy, Cody. He's standing up for what's right. Cody, Triple H is, against the Bloodline, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and what they think is most important, and that is their family. They think their family is above everything else, including the WWE. It could be a memorable WrestleMania season with what they got planned. You guys watched the kickoff stream last night with myself and Andrew Badal. We talked about all the possibilities of what could be at WrestleMania. We will once again go over that. I'm sticking with my guns. It's only one of two ways. This tag team match that everybody's dreaming of with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. Don't really find any interest in that. I don't know why that would be on anybody's thoughts. After tonight, I think that tag team match can go up in smoke and in the fucking garbage because the Elimination Chamber is going to get a women's and now a men's match. Seth Rollins will have an opponent at WrestleMania on night 1 or night 2, preferably night 1. Seth Rollins will wrestle the winner of the men's Elimination Chamber match. So that tag team match is not taking place at WrestleMania like everybody was claiming it would be. Certainly looked like a tag team match was being set up. Rollins looked like a fucking lost soul out there. He looked like the fourth wheel.
Yeah.
But I said if he's healthy to go, which I don't really think is a possibility, we could do that match at the Elimination Chamber. Cody, Seth Rollins teaming up together against Rock and Roman. It's still a possibility. We got next week. It's not taking place at WrestleMania. But whatever happened at the kickoff show wasn't really forwarded this week. There's a reason for that. WWE is going to take baby steps. They got several weeks to go before WrestleMania, and right now they got the Elimination Chamber to build first and foremost. That's what they're building towards. After the Chamber, we got 5 weeks till WrestleMania. 6 weeks. More than enough time to tell these stories and have everything fleshed out for WrestleMania. Also on tonight's SmackDown, we got a number 1 contenders tag team title match. We got DIY against British Strong Style, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And winners of that match will go on to wrestle Judgment Day at the Elimination Chamber. And we got Elimination Chamber qualifying matches for both the men and the women tonight. In what was a very good wrestling heavy SmackDown show. But if you guys are looking for story, it was not to be found tonight. Not to be found. Gotta wait till next week. So we're going to go over everything we need to tonight, as usual, right here on OTS. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on your Friday evenings. We got 3,500 people in here. Quickly, let me get through my typical book.
Yeah.
Capitalize on the momentum that they had from the press conference. Like we said, we literally said that this was going to happen, that they weren't really going to do anything besides maybe like, oh yeah, we referenced what happened last night.
We did find out we were right about Elimination Chamber, that it's going to be for Seth's title. I said that, and that's what happened. So I just want to pat myself on the back. And also, you also had like a tournament situation tonight. So they did have that going on.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that's what most people wanted out of tonight.
I mean, we finally moved on from January, which lasted about 2 years, and it's only not even the middle of February, and it's been great.
That's the reason why I think Dom should win this one, because if you think about Elimination Chamber, it's two weeks away, and it's okay, but it definitely feels like a filler show. Why not give Australia a place to be that guy that did if I was booking the show. But if fighting was cheap, fighting it would be okay all day.
Just know what you're getting at. Plus, it comes with its own tracker that connects, so if you ever misplace it, you can instantly find it. Amazing design.
You know, we're giving you straight up, you know, and it's not the most popular viewpoints of things.
Triple H, he started SmackDown off tonight.
Cybersecurity is in high.
The title that they buried 6 feet under just 1 week ago. And again last week. But he's going to save the title to give us a champion that we can all be proud of and a champion that is best for business. Drew McIntyre is fantastic. He's firing on all cylinders right now.
Exactly.
I got nothing but love for Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully he can keep it up. We had McIntyre one-on-one here against. Before the match started, though, LA Knight's music hit.
Little brother here, which was a very telling sign at the end of that kickoff show last night. Triple H is being interviewed, and Dwayne overhears him and says, "Don't let that man disrespect my family ever again." And then Triple H tells Rock, "That was wrong. You know that was wrong." And Rock right now is someone who has a lot of power. He's on the board of directors for KO. And he's throwing his power around. And after everything that happened, The Rock is leaning into a heel persona going into WrestleMania. And that may have been the best change of all. Because if The Rock is truly going to be a long gamer, then I think the longevity of the story he wants to tell is going to get us where it needs to be with him in this role right now. I'm going to say it once, and I'm going to say it again over and over and over again all WrestleMania season. Rock and Roman is not taking place at WrestleMania this year. Nor does it need to be at WrestleMania this year. The Rock wants to claim he's a long gamer. A long gamer means WrestleMania 41. It doesn't mean WrestleMania 40. Why give away the match now? I said this from the very beginning. The priority this season is to take that title off of Roman, put it on Cody, and get Cody on SmackDown as the new WWE champion. That's the priority. Finish the story. Roman going through another summer as WWE champion is going to be detrimental to the show.
Exactly. We need a full
And yes,
timer.
if you guys looked at the family bloodline tree that Roman and Rock were staring up at during the kickoff show last night, The Rock is labeled as the High Chief. Roman is the tribal chief. You know, I'm not really all that up on Samoan or what happens with the Samoan tribes, but I would assume that the High Chief is above the tribal chief. Did Roman take notice of that? Does he have a problem with that? I don't know. Roman and Rock doesn't need to take place this year. I said it from the very beginning, and I'm going to stick with that. I think you guys understand that as well. I think a lot of people are starting to get on board with that. Cody and Roman needs to take place this year at WrestleMania. It is signed, it is sealed, it is delivered. There's a graphic. So we know at least Cody will be a part of the main event for WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Why blow through something this big in 2 months? I would much rather see Roman and Rock together this summer, leading the bloodline. That's a nice trade-off for Roman dropping the championship. He's still going to be at the top, the very top, because he's going to have Dwayne next to him. And that doesn't mean the story's over. Cody takes the title. He ends Roman. He takes everything from Roman. And then that means the next chapter of this story is going to continue. Cody's going to be on SmackDown. Roman isn't going anywhere. He will be on SmackDown as well. We are going to get a Nightmare family or people representing Cody and the Nightmare family against the Bloodline. That is going to be your civil war on SmackDown or all across WWE. That's the long game that The Rock is talking about. There's no other long game. There will be other sub-stories within the long game that The Rock wants to tell. Because when all goes to shit, it's going to end up being Rocky and Roman at WrestleMania next year. But who will be the heel and who will be the babyface? That's the problem. I would be okay if Rock played heel all the way through until he says goodbye. Us looking at a babyface Rock, we expect it, we're comfortable with it, we know it. But the one character that The Rock never really stayed with for a long time is that Hollywood Rock prick-like that he played. And the first signs of that, the early stages of Hollywood Rock, were, to me, some of the best iterations of The Rock. Some of the best comedy, some of the best one-liners, some of the best promos, some of the best segments are from Hollywood Rock. So not only are we going to get a SmackDown WWE Raw Civil War, I genuinely think that this is leading to Roman turning over a new leaf, getting kicked out of the bloodline, and Roman finally being accepted by the fan base as the babyface that Vince dreamt of every single night for 7 years. The Rock is going to help get Roman over to that next point in his career. And he's not going to be a babyface like you think. He's not going to go back to the blue-collar babyface that Vince McMahon portrayed him as. There's not going to be much of Roman that's going to change. Roman found who he was. The Roman that you're going to get is the Roman that you see now. It's basically what you're going to get. That's the long game. But what do we do with WrestleMania? Everybody forecasts Rock wrestling at WrestleMania. I don't really know. The Elimination Chamber is coming up in 2 weeks. Everybody tends to think that Rollins is going to be ring ready, and everybody's projecting this tag team match that was basically teased coming out of the kickoff stream on Thursday night. Seth Rollins was out there. He didn't really have any reason to be out there. After Cody mentioned Roman Reigns and him wanting to go wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, Rollins was irrelevant to the entire discussion. He was just out there because he was out there. But is Rollins going to be ready? Is he going to be ready for the Elimination Chamber? It's in 2 weeks. Rollins said he would be completely ready for WrestleMania. But is he going to be ready for the Elimination Chamber? Australia wants The Rock. I do not see Roman missing that show. I do not see Cody missing that show. Do they test the waters with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus Rock and Roman Reigns, where Cody Rhodes takes the majority of that match? I don't know. It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big ask for Seth Rollins at this stage when he might not be ready. Clearly, that match is not taking place at WrestleMania. WWE is going to crown a number one contender for Rollins through the Elimination Chamber, and that will be his WrestleMania match. So that match won't be taking place at WrestleMania. Unless we get this tag team match to happen 1 or 2 weeks before WrestleMania weekend on a mega edition of SmackDown. It's a possibility. But what do we do with Cody, Rock, and Roman? Well, I mentioned last night, and I mentioned this months ago, before Rock even got inserted into the picture. Maybe we do Roman wrestling Rock and Roman wrestling Cody. This is when we all projected that Dwayne would be a babyface and Roman would beat The Rock and The Rock would go goodbye and then he drops the title to Cody on night 2. But clearly this is going on with The Rock. Clearly he's going to be aligned with Roman. He's not wrestling Roman. It's one of two things are going to happen. Next week, it's a possibility where Triple H and The Rock come face to face and The Rock throws his weight around, The Rock throws his power around and just inserts himself into the World Championship match at WrestleMania. It's a possibility. That would make it Cody versus Rock versus Roman for the Undisputed Championship. Don't really want to see that. Don't really want to see that. Or something that I pitched last night. Instead of having Roman wrestle twice, how about we have Cody wrestle twice? Cody wrestles The Rock on night 1 in the main event. And then Cody wrestles Roman on night 2 in the main event. And wins the title. It could happen. That would be them taking a page out of the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 playbook, but a lot more lucrative. A lot more lucrative.
That Cody and The Rock on main event
I
night
don't know
1.
where they go.
Me neither, but that's not gonna happen either.
Some people are saying Roman's not going to lose at WrestleMania. Roman is losing at WrestleMania. Roman needs to lose.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Roman is not taking that championship past WrestleMania. He's not. It is a detriment to the show. It's over. There's nothing left for him to do. If he beats Cody, what is he going to do?
Exactly.
It's going to be all about the Bloodline and the Nightmare family or the Rhodes family head to head for the rest of the year.
Exactly. He's already went to it, but
Roman gets kicked out of the Bloodline. The Rock is the high chief of the Bloodline. And then you start to see, well, is Solo going to join Roman or is he going to join Rock? Is Jimmy going to join Roman or is he going to join Rock? Is Jay going to join Roman or join Rock? We may get a whole new bloodline. An entire new blood. We may get bloodline versus bloodline at the end of all this. But initially, I'm already thinking ahead. Roman, Rock, Jimmy, Solo against Cody, Jay, Seth, and potentially CM Punk. Imagine that. You mean to tell me that's not going to bring more eyeballs to the WWE? Holy shit. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just fantasy booking. Nothing's really set in stone. We don't really know what they're doing on a week-to-week basis. I don't think WWE knows what they're doing on a week-to-week basis. Cody's in the main event. Rock will be there. What role will he have? I don't know. I don't know. But if they really want to make Cody overcome everything, having him wrestle Rock on night 1 and then having him beat Roman on night 2 is quite the way to send him off, riding into the sunset, crowning that man king of WWE. I thought the press conference last night was great.
yeah, me
I
too.
thought what they did was make a huge error, hustle to fix it, and they got the job done. Now, the only thing I wish they would have done tonight is give us an explanation as to why Cody says he's going to take everything from Roman, but not at WrestleMania. I'm still worried about that line. Why did he say that? Was he convinced to say that by Dwayne? I'm going to need to physically hear him say that. I'm going to need him to say, I was told that I was going to be promised this. But after what I saw at the press conference, and it's all about family and bringing my family down, and it's not about the championship. No. What are you kidding me? I'm gonna need an explanation.
Yeah, we all
Because the
we all
Rock
do.
seemed to be targeting Roman and everything that Roman is. And then at the press conference, it was more about, we got to do this for our blood. We got to do this for our family. Cody's like, this is what you're taking my WrestleMania spot for? This? I don't give a shit about your family. I'm going to need an explanation from Cody.
Yeah, me
Big
too.
time.
Me too.
Hopefully we get that next week.
Hopefully.
So I was slightly disappointed that we didn't get him on the show at least this week to explain why he did and said what he said last week. Because it still doesn't make Cody look good.
Yeah,
It makes him look like a fool.
Yeah, he looks like an idiot.
I
Cody.
appreciate WWE changing the plans to make it work.
Yeah, me too. It still doesn't make Cody Rhodes look good. It makes him look like a dumb baby face. It's not good to have your baby face look so dumb. It made him look very, very, very bad. But I guess we have to wait and see what happens next week because Rock and Roman will be on the show next week. I think we will see Cody. Something has to be set up for the chamber.
If this was WWE under Vince McMahon, we would get nowhere. This would be awful.
Yeah.
At least with this administration and these people leading the show, they'd listen to the fans immediately. And they follow the voices that were going to lead them down the right path. Cody is the way. This was not the original plan. So kudos to WWE for fixing what was an obvious error, trying to get us on the right path. Still a little bumpy. But if they manage to turn this thing around and completely remove plans here from the original, and it works, kudos to them. But I'm going to need an explanation from Cody.
Hopefully.
The only thing that we're hanging up on. Triple H is out there, and like I said, he's with Adam Pearce, and he's with Nick Aldis. So, Triple H said it certainly sounds like they're on the road to WrestleMania. He said the kickoff event got them started, but at some points, it took a hard left turn, and now that road is on fire, he said. He said it feels really good. He said he wanted to clear one thing up, though. Fans loudly began chanting, Rocky sucks, Rocky sucks. Rock is not wanted. He said there was some confusion in the air. Perhaps some people don't know their role. He was already indirectly mentioning The Rock. I feel like there were people that went out there and tried to assert their authority when they don't really have any. He says he really don't care where someone sits. There is one thing that is abundantly clear, whether people like it or not. The answers come from one place and one place only. And right now, you're looking at him. Because he looks right into the hard camera. He leans into the camera and basically let you know he was in charge. Triple H said on WrestleMania, Roman will defend the title against Cody Rhodes in the main event. Triple H then said there are some people in the back who, at that point, loud Cody chants rang out. He said there will be some people who will be disappointed in that decision. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if that decision. Again, indirectly mentioning The Rock by using one of his own catchphrases. He welcomed everyone to the road to WrestleMania. Nick Aldis then takes the microphone and said, now that is basically taken care of, it's time to shift our attention to Seth Rollins. He said his challenger will be determined within the Elimination Chamber in Australia. He says they kick things off with qualifying matches tonight, and because our management team is a unified one. I'm going to turn it over to Adam Pearce, he says. Adam Pearce then pointed at the big screen, and it showed all of the competitors within the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. Randy Orton, Bronson Reed, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, Ivar of the Viking Raiders, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, and LA Knight. Yeah. Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles were up first, which kind of angered people because people want to see both Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles in the Elimination Chamber. McIntyre made his entrance. He wore his new shirt with the gravestone saying CM Punk's comeback lasted from 2024 to 2024. He thanked everyone for showing up, and he thanked everyone for showing him their wallets because the shirt is, I believe, #1 on the WWE shop. He then calls himself DM Hunk. You know, CM Punk and DM Hunk, Drew McIntyre is calling himself a hunk. Basically what he said.
Oh, I love Drew McIntyre, man.
He said his shirt is selling better than Punk's shirt. He promised everyone that Punk won't see a penny of the profits. Said everybody's happy that Cody chose Reigns. He told him sarcastically, "You go finish your story, buddy." Said he played with everyone's emotions and played games, and he helped motivate him to finish his story. You're welcome. You're very welcome, man. Go do it. He said he saved WrestleMania by taking Punk out and motivating Cody to finish his story. So now all he has to do is save the World Heavyweight Championship. He said he'll win the chamber and finally have his moment at WrestleMania. He said he'll give everyone a champion they can be proud of, who is best for business. We got this match to start SmackDown. Before we get into what happened within the match between AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Elimination Chamber. Now, you're probably wondering, I wonder if JD is going to shit on this because there are Raw and SmackDown stars in this Elimination Chamber. I know. I don't really understand it.
Me neither.
I don't like it. I don't get it. Every time WrestleMania season comes around, we get WWE bending the rules more and more and basically eliminating the brand split.
Well, the brand split don't matter. I don't know the brand split anymore. It doesn't matter. I mean, I guess people can show up on any show they want because then they need star power.
They seemingly get thrown out the window. WWE clearly wants to go in a direction to find Rollins a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Now, I like the fact that they're doing the chamber because that's what the chamber is for on the road to WrestleMania.
Exactly. Because Cody Rhodes is going after Roman Reigns. And now that leaves us, okay, who can face Seth Rollins? Well, we have the chamber to see who will face Seth Rollins and build that match. And that's how you build a chamber. Like after the Rumble winner announces what champion are they gonna face, Cody Rhodes is going after Roman Reigns, Bayley she's going after Io Sky. So now we have the chamber for the men and for the woman to see who can face Seth Rollins, who can face Rhea Ripley. I like that. That's how the chamber should be used for.
Whoever wins the Royal Rumble, that man gets to choose whichever championship he wants. And the championship that is not chosen, they have their match determined in the chamber. So before you guys expect me to shit on this, I would rather the Elimination Chamber find Rollins an opponent instead of some bullshit one-night triple threat match or a one-on-one match, or worst case scenario, they randomly choose an opponent for him based on whatever's going on the television show. So right out of the gate, I'm here to tell you that you guys should be okay with this, because the Elimination Chamber is being used in the manner in which it should be used on the road to WrestleMania. Years and years and years, the Chamber has become less and less important.
Yeah.
Triple H is there finally full-time, and he's using the Chamber as it should be used, as intended on the road to WrestleMania. You're going to determine your other championship match through the Chamber. Chamber's not being contested for the fucking tag team titles. It's not being contested for the Intercontinental title. It's not being contested for the United States Championship, which we all thought was going to be the case. So yes, I would rather see them do the Chamber instead of any other method.
Yeah, me too.
Secondly, if they do the Chamber, which they should, are there enough credible, believable, and deserving men on the Monday Night Raw side to go in there and get the job done, to come out of the other side and win number one contender? Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Gunther. To stop right there. If you put Gunther in the Elimination Chamber, unless he's going to win it, why is he there? You do know that the match is no rules. If Gunther's in the Elimination Chamber, that means he would have to lose via pinfall. There's no other way to lose. So right out of the gate, you're taking one of the biggest, if not the biggest contender on Monday Night Raw, putting him in the Chamber to lose? So you're stuck with Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, and Jey Uso. Who else is on Bronson Reed? Hasn't really done much of anything. The Miz.
Give me a fucking break. We already saw
You
it.
guys take The Miz to be a number one contender to challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title?
No.
Chad Gable, Ricochet, Ivar.
No. They're going to Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, the obvious choice. That's the only guy winning it. Now, since Sami Zayn lost to Randy Orton tonight, Drew McIntyre, the only man to win it. He's the only guy to win a chamber. That's the only guy who's legit enough to win the chamber. Face Seth Rollins. And even though we saw the match, I think Drew is definitely the right guy to win it.
I mean, WWE is looking very weak at the top of the card there. After McIntyre, Zayn, and Jey Uso, there really isn't much to go on. CM Punk was supposed to be in there. He was supposed to win it. He was supposed to go wrestle Rollins at WrestleMania. Clearly, that's not happening. So what WWE did here is, after The Rock disrupted the system at the kickoff show on Thursday, and everybody's now managing the chaos here with the power struggle that they feel is coming, WWE sent Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce out there alongside Triple H and claimed that their management team is unified and they are working together to make the best show possible. And right now, you're looking at Raw and SmackDown competitors in the chamber instead of just Monday Night Raw. It fills it out much better. And I'm looking at it from another aspect as well. For weeks, we've been talking about Rollins looking like a fourth wheel, and Rollins looking like a bitch, and Rollins looking like a secondary champion. Roman buried his championship alongside his clothing choices. He basically called Rollins' title the loser's bracket title. So now Rollins has not only Raw, but SmackDown vying for his championship. Perception is everything, folks. I know they buried Rollins' championship more times than I care to remember the last 2 weeks, but if you got both Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown competing for Seth Rollins' championship, just by perception alone, it makes Rollins' championship look that much more desirable. So yeah, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to be okay with this decision. It's a big show. Why not? Now, they didn't really say anything or give a reason why SmackDown is included in the Raw Championship plans. I mean, who gives a shit? How did Rollins win the title? He beat AJ Styles, who was a SmackDown star. That entire tournament was Raw and SmackDown guys. So the way he won it, the way he will defend it at WrestleMania a year later. It's not that big of a deal. If it was a big deal, I would have said so. I would have complained about it because you guys know, if you guys have been with me for any extended period of time, you know how I feel about WWE stepping all over the rules of the brand split. They never stick to it. Keep it to Raw and keep it to SmackDown. But I think with the intentions that are had here, it'll work, and I think it'll be fun. So right now, based out of these names, we're going to get into the matches tonight, but out of the names here, Styles wrestled McIntyre tonight. Styles clearly lost because McIntyre is on one hell of a roll. You're not going to have an Elimination Chamber match or talk about Seth Rollins and the world title without including Drew McIntyre. So we got Drew McIntyre. He advanced. Sami Zayn wrestled Randy Orton tonight, and Randy Orton is in the chamber, so McIntyre and Orton qualify. Logan Paul will be wrestling The Miz next week on Friday night. Logan Paul is advancing, so we will not get a United States Championship match at the Elimination Chamber like we expected. Kevin Owens, who we thought Logan Paul would wrestle at the Elimination Chamber, he's wrestling Dominic Mysterio next week, and Kevin Owens is going to advance, so that would make Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton in the chamber. That's 4. Then we got, I believe it's going to be Bobby Lashley against Bronson Reed, and Ivar versus LA Knight. Bobby Lashley's going to win, and LA Knight is going to win. So we have 6 guys here. 6 guys in the Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight. I like that a lot better than what would come out only off of Monday Night Raw. And within the chamber, we could set up potential WrestleMania matches. We could set up LA Knight and Logan Paul. We could set up potentially what Randy Orton is doing at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn's not in there. His road to WrestleMania is very questionable. What is he going to be doing at WrestleMania? He's on Monday Night Raw. Do we get Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship? Sami Zayn's going to be down and out. I could see WWE taking that, making it into a story. He's got to find his way to WrestleMania. He was in the main event last year. How do I get to Mania? I can't do it. The window's closing. He's a loser. After Gunther gets rid of Jey Uso, who do you think should be next? Sami Zayn could realistically be looking at an IC title match against Gunther at WrestleMania. I'm okay with them adding SmackDown to the chamber. I am. Or we could just blow this fucking thing up and go really, really unpredictable. And we just do LA Knight versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Gotta throw it out there. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. It's a possibility. He's the most over guy in that match. And that's the perfect title for him. He's got no stance on Friday night. He's better suited for Monday, so why not? It is a possibility. Just throwing that out there. AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. This was a decent match. McIntyre is nothing bad I can say about McIntyre in that ring, especially when he's with somebody like AJ Styles. So we'll pick it up right before the commercial break. Styles went for a move off the top. McIntyre chopped Styles off the top to the floor outside. McIntyre threw Styles into the timekeeper's area, and we go to a commercial break. We are back from the break. The match is in the ring now. Styles landed a tornado DDT. He then followed up by kicking McIntyre's knee and landing a running elbow. He kicked the knee. Keep that in mind. Styles fired up the crowd. Styles set up, I guess he was working babyface in this match because McIntyre's the heel. I don't know. Styles set up for the Styles Clash, but McIntyre countered and ran Styles into the corner. He then lifted Styles. He went up to the second rope. Styles countered whatever was being planned into a running power bomb. Sit-out power bomb for a 2 count. Styles then tried to lift McIntyre. Drew got out of it. McIntyre followed that up because Styles was preoccupied with LA Knight. And we got Drew McIntyre hitting a Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3, and McIntyre beats AJ Styles to advance to the Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
Yeah.
As he should. McIntyre is going to be the winner of the Chamber, in my opinion.
Yeah. He
That's
obviously
who I
won.
think should win the Chamber. That's who I think is going to get Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. It is the best match for both men at this point. With the work that McIntyre is putting in, with the amount of social media work he's putting in, this is the best work he's done in all of WWE. So why not go and finally reward McIntyre being crowned the new champion at WrestleMania is the direction. That's the way I'm going.
He deserves it.
Yeah. Caleb Braxton interviewed Sami Zayn backstage. He asked him about facing Randy Orton later. Sami said the last week has proven nothing.
Oh, come on.
You know, Brock Lesnar being pulled opens up a whole bunch of different options for him. You know, Jey Uso could be an option, and so could Sheamus. You know, if Sheamus is ready to come back before WrestleMania, maybe he ends up on Raw somehow. They can resume that story. Right? Yeah, maybe Sheamus can finish his story at WrestleMania. You've got Chad Gable. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I wish they would circle back to that story, even though it doesn't look like they're going to. But then there's Sami Zayn. And I wonder if they would consider doing Zayn and Gunther, starting a story with them. Me personally, I would rather them continue to build Sami, the story of him trying to prove that he can be a world champion. And when the time comes, you know, maybe he wins that title from Gunther. But the problem is, I mean, you got to really be patient then because Gunther probably isn't even touching the world title, at least until the summer. And when he wins it, you know, traditionally he has some pretty long title reigns. I mean, he went 800 some odd days in NXT UK as the NXT UK champion. He's already been the Intercontinental champion over 600 days. If he wins the World Heavyweight title, I'm not saying we need to see him with a Roman Reigns run. We don't. But they would probably want to give him some length with that belt. Maybe build something for WrestleMania next year in 2025. You know, maybe the World Heavyweight title match at Mania next year is going to be Gunther and Sami Zayn. To do it now for the Intercontinental title, I don't know if I would do it now, but if they wanted to, I certainly wouldn't argue against seeing the two of them in the ring together. I think that would be a fantastic one. That'd be a great match. I don't know that Sami would win. In fact, if it was me, I think he goes down. You do that match this year, I would probably put Sami down. Start your story right there. Let him work for it. A year later, he comes back, and he beats them. I like the idea of that more than him being the one to beat Gunther. or at least being the one to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental. I think that's a world title story that you can build. But Sammy left the ring. He was very dejected and frustrated.
Yim was going to the chamber. Bianca Belair beats Mia Yim. Now I will say this: I'm gonna give you guys pop on top of the overwhelmingly negative here. Very predictable. But at least they're telling their stories and how each individual got into the chamber. Mia Yim, the more you see her, the more comfortable she's getting in the ring, the better she's getting in the ring. We just need to get that crowd behind her. She's very good. She's very good. You see a little bit more of her, a little bit more of that personality shine through on television. She could be a major player in that division. Solid name in that division. Now the negative. Very predictable. No reason to believe that Becky Lynch, or Bianca Belair, I should say, Becky's going to qualify too, that Bianca Belair is not going to the Elimination Chamber. Now, the thing is, with an Elimination Chamber, we have 6 women vying for a shot at Rhea Ripley and her World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Now, with all the teases that we got, it is very difficult to believe that WWE is not going to go with Becky Lynch. But there is a dark horse here, and that is Bianca Belair. I want to say Liv Morgan, but I think Liv Morgan in this particular instance is going to have to wait till after WrestleMania. She's going to try. She just came back at the Royal Rumble. She's going to try. But I don't see Liv Morgan factoring into any WrestleMania plans right now against Rhea Ripley. She's not as big of a star where you can just plug her in at a WrestleMania and have it be what you need it to be. And I mean that honestly. She's not a big star. She's not. She's a solid name, but she's not Becky and she's not Bianca. WWE's got 2 paths for WrestleMania. One, Becky, which they've already teased multiple times. And 2, Bianca Belair. I don't know where they go. I don't. But if we are to believe what we've already seen on television, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley is the biggest match that they can do right now for the women's division. Bianca Belair is not going to WrestleMania, even though I would like to see Rhea and Bianca. I think that is a fight forever type deal there between those 2 ladies. I would love to see them go at it. That's another dream match waiting to happen. We could do that at WrestleMania 41 if we want.
Isn't that too long?
So what do we do with Bianca at WrestleMania? Every match that Bianca has had, as long as she's been on the main roster, has been for a title at WrestleMania. She's either walked in as champion or wrestled as a challenger for a championship at WrestleMania. Every single match she's been in a championship match at WrestleMania.
Yes, he's only got 3 matches.
WWE develops anxiety attacks when they can't book Becky in a championship match, and they can't book Bianca in a championship match, and they can't book Charlotte in a championship match. There's no other feuds for these women outside of championship matches. They get anxiety. Now, there's one of 2 paths. Bianca will be at WrestleMania. Doing what? I don't know. There's one of 2 paths. I mentioned this last week. Tiffany Stratton. She's qualifying for the Elimination Chamber next week. She'll be there. Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton is a WrestleMania match, if you ask me. Jade Cargill. What is Jade doing? I pitched this weeks ago. What if we do Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax? WWE's not going to leave Nia Jax off the WrestleMania card. She's been all over the fucking television show, and she's related to The Rock. Rock is going to take care of his family at WrestleMania. Nia Jade, Rhea Becky, Bianca Tiffany,
Yeah, right.
Io, and Bayley. Your 4 women's matches across 2 nights at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I doubt it. You can have all these women on the
Best
show.
way to go about it. Those tag team championships, they could be defended as well. I don't really see how you get those championships involved unless you leave Nia off the show. And Jade was thinking about this as well. If WWE wants to bring Jade up because she's been on the television show at least once in the last couple of weeks, teasing about which brand she may end up on. Now, she was rumored to be going to Monday Night Raw. I don't know if that's still the plan, but she showed up on SmackDown. It might have been last week, if I'm not mistaken. Either last week or the week before that. She showed up, and she wanted to talk to Adam Pearce about potentially landing on SmackDown, or Nick Aldis, rather. Potentially landing on SmackDown. What if Bianca and Tiffany do not have a match, and we do Jade teaming with Bianca to rekindle Bianca's feud with Damage Control, and it'll be Jade, Bianca versus Asuka and Kairi at WrestleMania for the women's tag team titles. I don't really care for that. I mean, I don't have any interest in that at all. The women's tag team titles are just so much of an eyesore. It's like the red-headed stepchild of championships in the company. It's like they're there, but nobody wants to do anything meaningful with them.
Yeah, who
They
gives
just exist.
who gives a shit?
Like, I just booked you 4 solid women's matches at WrestleMania. Then, what about Asuka? What about Kairi? You can't leave them off the fucking show.
You can.
I'm sorry. You straddle them with fucking worthless championships. I'm sorry.
These titles are worthless. Last year they weren't defended. Becky and Lita were your champions last year, and they didn't defend the titles last year. They were in a nothing six-man match that no one cared about.
I don't know. I would rather have Tiffany Stratton on the show than the fucking tag team championships. It's not my fault Asuka and Kairi are carrying around worthless gold. Keep that in mind. It's still a possibility.
Yeah. Which I doubt it. I doubt it.
Bianca wins. Bianca wins. Decent little match here. Michin set up for Star Splash. Bianca back body dropped her way out of it. KOD. That was basically it. 1, 2, 3. Bianca advances to the Elimination Chamber. Oh, yeah, we could see Naomi. Naomi and Bianca. I could see that. Naomi and Bianca versus Damage Control. I could see that. Naomi's in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match as well. I wonder who's going to win that one. Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Naomi's having her first match back on SmackDown, and Tiffany is someone who just got called up, who won her debut match against Shotzi. She's got a match against Shotzi.
Shotzi's not winning.
Not difficult to figure out who's going to advance there.
Yeah.
We got an Elimination Chamber match so far, looking like Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch.
Naomi.
Big fucking deal there, man. That's a great looking match.
Yeah.
And Naomi. Braun Breaker. Speaking of call-ups, Braun Breaker approached Triple H backstage. They shook hands. Braun says he received 2 great offers and isn't sure what decision to make. He asked for advice on which brand to choose. Paul Heyman walked in. He looks in, he smiles at Braun Breaker. He's like, "Oh, man, I remember you, man. What's going on?" Smiled and shook Braun Breaker's hand and said it was wonderful to see him. Braun left. Heyman, as if nothing happened last night, looked at Levesque and said, "Hey, man, that's one hell of a talent, man. He's got a fucking really wacky family, but that's one hell of a talent right there." Triple H looked at him. "What the fuck do you want?" He was in no mood to deal with Paul Heyman. But Heyman, in his typical New York prick attitude, "Oh, yeah? Okay. Don't worry, it looks like you don't want to be bothered right now, but you know what? We'll bother you next week. And so will my tribal chief and The Rock." Triple H said, "Oh, yeah? I'm looking forward to it." Braun Breaker on SmackDown as a new Paul Heyman guy. Book it. Braun Breaker does not need to go to Monday Night Raw. Braun on SmackDown as a client of Paul Heyman's? That's what I'm doing. Don't know why you would. Bayley. Bayley is addressing the WWE Universe about Damage Control taking her out last week. I am going to read you a tweet from my guy Kevin Castle of the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Two very good friends of mine. He said this about Bayley, and now I can't unsee it. I have to read it because it's so fucking true. He says, anytime Bayley is on the mic in front of a crowd, she talks like she just met somebody on a blind date and going through the motions of getting to know you. She's always lacked any intensity or any conviction. I can't sit here and tell you that Kevin Castle is not wrong. I love Bayley, but the way she delivers her message, it's not one with a sense of urgency. It's not one with, like Kev said, conviction. She doesn't make you believe in what she's saying, you know? I don't know.
Oh, my bad.
Earn a respect.
Come on now with the theme commercial.
Take it, because the fans were chanting. Maybe I had it coming. Who knows? She said maybe they're cool with each other now. She said they've been on a journey with her and they know what's in her heart when it comes to WWE. She said Damage Control meant everything to her. She said she gave and gave and gave, and all they did was take and take and take from her. She talked about them laughing behind her back. She said Io Sky will learn a lesson the hard way at WrestleMania. All of a sudden, Dakota Kai comes out and said she's been texting Bayley all week.
Like bell to bell, Randy Orton and Logan Paul, I think, is going to be a much better match than Logan Paul and LA Knight. But I think if you want, an opponent for him that can really make things interesting on promos as they try to build up their fight at WrestleMania. I don't know if I would do it now, but if they wanted to, I certainly wouldn't argue against seeing the two of them in the ring together. I think that would be a fantastic. I don't know that Sammy would win. In fact, if it was me, I think he goes down. To do that match this year, I'd probably put Sammy down. Start your story right there. Let him work for it. A year later, he comes back, and he beats them. That way, we also get Owens and Logan Paul back together in the chamber. And then we get LA Knight, and he is wrestling Ivar. They made that announcement as well. He's going to be wrestling Ivar on Raw this Monday night. And this is where it gets a little like, I'm not so sure which direction they're going to go in here, because it really comes down to whether or not they want to do LA Knight against AJ Styles in Perth. If that's the case, then AJ should cost him the match on Monday, and then Ivar would go to the Elimination Chamber. And that's exactly what I predict is going to happen. I think that AJ Styles is going to get his revenge for what happened tonight. And Ivar, it's going to be maybe the big upset here of all these qualifying matches where Ivar goes to the chamber. And they do that sometimes, where they'll throw someone in there that you would not expect to be in a match like this. Someone that doesn't really seem to fit if you have a lot of other big names in there. I think last year for the U.S. title, they put Montez Ford in the Elimination Chamber, and he shined. And then they didn't do a fucking thing with this guy again. in the singles ranks. But that was last year. I think Ivar is going to be that guy this year. Bronson Reed was also in that match last year. If I remember, I think it was the U.S. title one. I think that was the one that Bronson Reed was in. And I think he'll be in this one too. But if LA Knight does qualify, and assuming that Logan Paul qualifies, they could do something with them in the chamber, like that spark for a WrestleMania match. So I'm kind of torn, but that's what I think is going to end up happening. I just don't see why AJ Styles would not want to screw over LA Knight. For Paul, you guys seem to agree. There it is. Kind of speaks for itself there. 81% thumbs up, 19% thumbs down. That's even bigger. I think it's an even better score than what Dynamite does.
Sasha Banks is not coming to WWE. I already left you Easter eggs in the graphic for big business. They're coming to Boss Time. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Tag team title. #1 contender match. This went 8 minutes. It is criminal that this went 8 minutes on. I could have watched these guys go for another 10, easy. Bate and Gargano started the match. They shook hands. They traded a lot of pinning attempts. Peter Dunne.
Those are the WWE reportedly allegations about Anthony Merwell. That's about the Vince allegation and sex trafficking. Therefore, I think I'll talk about that another time. No, we do have that. That's gonna be tomorrow at 12. It will also be tomorrow at 11. Now let them back with me official. Rock turns heel. WrestleMania drama is far from over. There is more. Long-term plans. Rock turns heel. See how we smack Cody Rhodes? You know, like Cody choose Roman Reigns. John WhatsApp was at the press conference. Rock AIT. The Rock goes after the Cody Crybabies.
You know I love you. I'ma suck your dick
The
out.
Ravens, Nate.
Well, we can have two versions and two sets. You can't. It would be too logistics wise. It would be too much. I mean, it's not like just a house show. You have the whole WrestleMania.
And when he wins, I would like to think that they would. Like if WWE said, "Look, we have this cool idea for Dustin to be a part of this, since this whole story is all about family." I would think that Tony Khan would be open to it. Either.
Oh wait, hold on. I probably should look at that.
On Twitter. So I know he does not like him. He does not want to do business with him. But for Dustin's sake, if Dustin wanted to be a part of it and went to him and said, "Look, this would mean a lot to me if you would let me go do this," I think he would do it. I think he has too much respect for Dustin not to.
He says, aren't you supposed to be on Raw? Meanwhile, this is Kevin Owens, not The Miz. Kevin Owens looked confused. And then he tells KO, don't let Nick catch you. You mean Nick Mysterio? No, Nick Aldis. Kevin Owens told R-Truth, all right, I'll be careful. R-Truth, man, what a funny guy. Logan Paul. He interrupted a conversation between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. He said qualifying matches are for unqualified people. I'm qualified. He then touted his resume to Nick Aldis. He says he should get the Rock treatment. He took a deep breath and then agreed he'd wrestle next week in Utah. Then he made fun of Utah, like, you're going to have me fly all the way to Utah and wrestle in Utah. But he doesn't like it. He said he'll win the chamber and then beat Seth and walk out as a double champion. He asked to know who he's wrestling. Aldis said he'll be facing somebody he's very familiar with, The Miz. Nobody is expecting Miz to beat Logan. Randy Orton. He went one-on-one versus Sami Zayn in the main event on Friday Night SmackDown. Sami Zayn is not going to the Elimination Chamber. He's not. Poor Sami Zayn. The guy was in the biggest match of his entire career against Roman Reigns at last year's Elimination Chamber, and this year is not even going to be featured on the show. Imagine that. He main evented WrestleMania last year. And right now, his window is closing. What is Sammy going to do at WrestleMania? I pitched Sammy and Gunther for the IC title. You want to make Sammy's WrestleMania feel tremendous? That's the match you do. Orton had control early. It wasn't long until Orton found himself on the outside. Orton walked along the ring. Back in the ring, Orton worked on punches. Zayn turned things around. He worked his own punches. Orton is in there, returned the favor. Hits a European uppercut to go back outside. Sami Zayn hopped on the barricade, landed a moonsault. Did not connect all with the moonsault. Zayn tried another dive, but Orton caught him with a forearm. Zayn then slammed Orton on the commentary table, and the show went to commercial break. We come back from break. Zayn is on the offensive on Orton inside the ring. Zayn landed a tornado DDT. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Zayn then goes up to the top. Orton cut him off. Orton hit a superplex off the top rope. Zayn eventually comes back. Some shoulder blocks. Orton then comes back with a series of clotheslines, his signature snap power slam. Orton set up for a draping DDT, but instead Zayn dumped Orton to the outside, and Zayn quickly landed a suicide dive. Orton then slammed Zayn on the commentary table in retaliation from earlier. So we go back in the ring. Orton hit the draping DDT on Sammy back in the ring. He then set up for the RKO, but Zayn rolled Orton up for a 2 count. Zayn followed that up with a beautiful Blue Thunder Bomb 2 count. Zayn tried a springboard move off the second rope, springboard leapfrog. That leapfrog did him in because waiting after he landed on his feet was an RKO. 1, 2, 3, and nobody is kicking out of the RKO. Randy Orton's going to the chamber. He qualifies alongside Drew McIntyre tonight on SmackDown. After the match, Drew McIntyre showed up, stepped inside the ring. Orton and McIntyre have a history. They stared face to face, and the show went off the air. Good match. Show did not have a lot of story, but it was a wrestling-heavy show, which we don't usually see on Friday night. But I like the fact that they are taking these qualifying matches, stretching them out over the remaining weeks of build, gives the show meaning. Yeah, they're predictable. Yeah, we can guess who's going to be in the chamber and who's not going to be in the chamber, but at least it makes the shows meaningful. WWE's loading up the chamber. Like I said before, they're using the chamber as it should be used on the road to WrestleMania. You guys cannot hate on them. Seth Rollins will have a challenger at WrestleMania. It's a tag team match that people were fantasizing about coming out of the kickoff show last night. Not happening. Unless it happens at the chamber. But there was really no story on this SmackDown outside qualifying matches at the chamber. Triple H, some indirect shots at The Rock. Rock's going to be on the show next week. Roman's going to be on the show next week. Paul Heyman's going to be on the show next week. Is Cody going to be on the show next week? I don't know. Next week is when things are going to really heat up. But SmackDown, regardless, was a good wrestling show tonight. Haven't really said that in many weeks. It's usually kind of blah. Raw is usually saved for the pro wrestling. SmackDown was a great wrestling show. Guys, thank you for being here, man. We had over 4,000, 4,200 at one point in here on the Friday night's SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. Tonight, sponsored by my great friends over at DraftKings. If you guys want to get in on all the Super Bowl fun for Super Bowl Sunday, make sure you guys hit up DraftKings, man. Download that app. Use promo code JD from NY, and you guys are going to have some fun this Super Bowl weekend. Tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at DraftKings. Listen up, football fans. This is the last weekend of the year, so it's time to get your bets in.
All right. Since I got that over with, now let me go back to JD from New York. Let's join. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys JD from New York, Andrew Baydala. They're gonna talk about the press conference that happened last night, the WrestleMania 40 kick press conference. Here we go.
I'm good.
My son who's a Cody fan. Did we get the answers for now that we want? Because I know they put up the graphic, but they also put up the Rock and Roll graphic. We really didn't get an answer.
No.
They finally put up a graphic, which is good. So I understand that people want to take a victory lap. The Cody fans want to take a victory lap today and go for it. This is what professional wrestling and sports entertainment is all about. Go take the victory lap. Go do whatever you got to do tonight, because it could all change on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what I'm worried about. Where are we headed?
I don't know, man. What really sold me on it was that last sequence. I did not think leaving here and then coming on here to talk about this, I did not think we would get Roman and Rock walking side by side when that was the proposed main event for WrestleMania 40. It's almost as if that is going to happen, but right now they are, I guess, defending the honor of their family together against the Rhodes family. I mean, listen, I know we dissected this thing up and down, left and right on Tuesday. I don't really think there's been anybody that's done it better than what we've done and what I've done on my own end.
This is so boring.
But I genuinely still think, coming out of the Rumble, before the Rumble, with all the news, I genuinely think that this was legit. I didn't think this was a work. Because somehow, some way, we all thought that they weren't going to be able to do it, man. I honestly feel like if they go along with what I think they are, they could possibly make this work. Now, the one thing that they did do tonight, two things that they did tonight, I did not like the fact that they kind of belittled Cody Rhodes in the way that they did, even more so after Friday. And they made Seth Rollins after look like a fucking clown out there.
Well, that's my thing. Like that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was how Seth was made to look like a bitch, and that's a shame because Seth really carried a brand and made a championship relevant. When realistically, everyone knew that was the secondary championship, but Seth took that to a completely different level. And tonight, it seemed as if Seth was a complete afterthought, and then Roman gets to pick his opponent at WrestleMania. When he said that, I looked at my son. I was like, that's not happening. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, that match is not happening. And he's like, why? And I was like, because Roman can't do that. And when Cody came out, they saved Cody a little bit, but Rock slapped Cody. That's what a lot of people, they got the graphic and everyone was like, yeah, we got what we wanted, which is, listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But The Rock belittled everybody on Pat McAfee's show, the Cody fans and the crybabies and the whiners who didn't go outside for a couple days and all that other stuff. He slapped Cody. Roman and Rock are cool. They gave us a PowerPoint presentation on the Bloodline family tree, and Roman and Rock are cool. Nah, something stinks.
Yeah, something's going on here. Rock, we'll get into all that stuff. I got the quotes from the Pat McAfee show today. Rock was definitely channeling his inner Hollywood Rock today on Pat McAfee's show, basically coining the phrase Cody Crybabies. And he really went in on getting that fan base after what they did this weekend and the death threats to his daughter and all that stuff. I mean, he answered all those questions. We're going to get into it. I got more questions than fucking answers coming out of this thing, but I don't necessarily look at that as a bad thing after tonight. I'm certainly more excited now than I was on Friday, where we all were legit pissed, and we were not. And I want to preface this: Drew and I and everybody else were not pissed about Roman and Rock taking place. I think everybody wants to see the match. Everybody was fucking pissed about how they went about setting it up and making Cody look like a fucking idiot on Friday, and he still looks like an idiot. Well, we got the match graphic. Triple H tweeted it out. It's official.
Right, so again, here's the deal. I want everybody to take a deep breath and understand that it doesn't, if they put up the Rock and Roman graphic after tonight, I still was not sold. I wasn't sold that that match is going to happen. I'm not sold that Cody and Roman is going to happen just because they put up a graphic. Rock smacked Cody. I think all of this was a quick fix to what they saw, what they heard on Monday, and then bled into Thursday because, listen, this Rock and Roman match is happening. Rock is ring ready. He talked about that. So, is Rock going to challenge Cody at the Elimination Chamber for the right to take on Roman Reigns? Because that would make sense now. But they made Cody look like a doofus at the Rumble. And they made Cody look like a doofus on SmackDown when he was like, here, I'm not ready. It's all yours.
So wait a minute. You think potentially? I'm not saying that you said it's going to happen.
8,000 people, JD.
Bro, we got people like Eric Bischoff and Conrad live, man. We're double that now. I'm gonna throw that.
Doing the game. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw that out there because I like to stroke my own ego sometimes, man. What are you saying, man? If they do Cody and Rock at the Chamber, why wouldn't they do Rock and Roman at the Chamber? I don't understand that. And what is Cody going to be putting his Royal Rumble opportunity on the line against the? He's owed that opportunity. He doesn't have to put that on the line. That's the one thing that's going to really stand out there. Is like, what are you doing, man? You already said you're not going to go after Roman at WrestleMania. Now you're going to put your Rumble opportunity on the line against Rock to go to WrestleMania.
Again, like you said, I got more questions than answers out of this press conference. They could fit. I've been saying it for weeks. Or the past week and a half. They could fit Cody into this match, but I don't see how it makes sense. Now, there's a little bit of sense that makes it kind of work. What are we getting, realistically?
I don't know. You know what we're getting? One of two things. This is my prediction right now. We're gonna get into the entire presser. I got all the notes here. What I genuinely think we're getting is one of two things. One, we're gonna get a tag team match at some point. I don't think Rollins is right. Some people are like, well, maybe we'll get Rollins and Cody versus Rock and Roman on night one or at the Chamber. No, Rollins is not going to be ready by the Chamber, number one.
Maybe that's the whole point of this thing. They bought Seth more time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did. But one of two things here. It's either going to end up being Rock and him being included as a referee or something along those lines against in that match with Cody and Roman. Or we're going to get the double main event where Roman's wrestling Rock on night one, and then Roman's wrestling Cody on night two. I can't see any other way. I mean, the triple threat match could also work, but I don't want to see that. I don't, because that opens up a whole new slew of problems, and it needs to be Cody and Roman, and Cody needs to pin Roman, and Roman needs to lose that title to Cody. I don't want anything getting in the way, jeopardizing Roman not being pinned by Cody, Rock beating Roman before Cody does. Cody winning a fucking championship that's not the WWE title. There's too many problems that could occur.
Right, and could you imagine? Like, I see the people in the chat. Drew didn't see Triple H's tweet. I saw the damn tweet. The graphic. I saw the graphic. They put up a graphic for Batista and Randy Orton too, guys. They change stuff. It happens all the time. I will tell you, if they do a tag match at WrestleMania, I'm out. That, like, Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. Because Triple H was very, I'm just saying, Triple H was very emphatic. He was talking a lot about that WrestleMania 1 main event tag match. Oh, nobody, I'm telling you right now, I shouldn't say nobody. People will want to see it, but that's not something I want to see. Your world champions need to have singles matches. The titles need to be on the line. That's just me. Okay?
Yeah, I don't know where we go. I again, so many questions coming out of this. Which direction they're going to go? A tag team match on night 1 of WrestleMania between these 4 men does not make sense. That is all. Because then you're gonna actively leave out Drew McIntyre and someone like that who's probably aiming for a world championship as well. I don't like that. Yes. And plus the world championship that Rollins holds should be defended at WrestleMania after all the burial that they've done with that championship. I do not want to see that title take any more fucking punches. It's bad enough.
Again, I've said it since we heard about the Punk injury. I don't think Seth should wrestle at WrestleMania. There's so many other ways they could have done this where Seth doesn't have to defend the championship because he's not holding it anymore. Or he could just, it's tough. Again, your triple threat match at WrestleMania, Cody, Rock, Roman, no thank you. If there is a match where Cody is not going to walk out of WrestleMania with the championship, are you guys going to be happy? If they do a triple threat and The Rock walks out of there with the son of a bitch, or Roman beats both of them, you're going to be happy? I'm telling you, be careful what you wish for. It's just, it's all up in the air. And I was, under the impression that Rock and Roman was going to have the WrestleMania. It doesn't seem like they're pivoting from that either. Rock's working WrestleMania. Who's he working against, though? He's not working Seth.
No, he's not working Seth. That would be fucking ridiculous.
Rocky's working WrestleMania for all you morons sitting here being like, Drew's yapping, or JD's talking out of his ass, or these guys don't know what they're talking about. Rock's working.
I mean, Mike Johnson of PW Insider, I talked about this today. I uploaded a video on this today. Behind this paywall said that The Rock is 100% working WrestleMania. Now, I don't know what that means. Working WrestleMania can mean multiple things. He could be a referee. He could be an enforcer. He could actually be in the ring wrestling. We don't know. So, he told Triple H to fix it. That's the most intriguing thing out of this entire press conference tonight. Fix it. And then he told him something along the lines of, you're lucky that there's cameras here, or you're lucky that you're retired. I don't know exactly what he said.
Who said fix it?
Rock and Roman told Triple H to fix it.
Right, and that's what I'm telling you. So Triple H made the announcement, and Triple H is very, very smart, okay? He knows how we think. He knows how wrestling writers think, former employees, all that other stuff. So he knows that he did the watermark thing a bunch of times. Did it with Punk in Chicago.
Yeah.
So he throws up a WrestleMania graphic, and everybody takes this victory lap. I'm telling you, slow down. If it's official, awesome. If we get to March, we get through the Elimination Chamber, and this match is still official, I think we're probably a go. But I'm telling you right now, Perth has wanted Dwayne for a long time at that Chamber match, that PLE. And I talked about this, weeks ago, months ago with you, that I think The Rock will be at that pay-per-view, the Evergreen Live event. I thought he might take on Roman. It doesn't seem that way right now. So, guys, I understand everyone's happy about the graphic. Awesome. Even if they threw up a Rock and Roman graphic,
Wait, hold on. I had to look at something for a minute. Never mind. No, you won't. Alright, come on.
for a long time at that Chamber match, that PLE. And I talked about this months ago with you that I think The Rock will be at that pay-per-view, premium live event. I thought he might take on Roman. It doesn't seem that way right now. So guys, I understand everyone's happy about the graphic. Awesome. Even if they threw up a Rock and Roman graphic and Rock slapped Cody tonight and we didn't get anything where Cody was like, I'm 100% coming for you, Roman, I would still not be satisfied. I would not be like taking these victory laps because truthfully, we don't know. The press conference gave us no answers. None. All they do is throw up a graphic.
Yeah, I'm more confused than I was going in. I don't know. Again, Rollins being interjected into this thing now has made everything a lot more confusing. I don't know when he's ready. I don't know if he will be ready. I don't know how he factors into this. I mean, he was standing out there. He was absolutely the fourth wheel out there. So I don't know why he's even included in this. I mean, Cody was going to wrestle Rollins by default. He didn't want to wrestle Rollins. And Rollins now is being talked about. Everybody seems to think that this tag team match is happening at the Elimination Chamber. I know you said, I know it's been said, Earth wanted Rock to wrestle. You know, we pitched many times that Rock and Roman could absolutely take place at that show. Do we get the tag team match? How does that change plans on Monday Night Raw? What does that mean for Drew McIntyre? What does that mean for a Cody-Drew McIntyre potential match? We saw McIntyre attack Cody at the end of Monday Night Raw this week. I don't know. Who does Rollins defend the title against if it's not Cody at WrestleMania?
Right, and they can protect Seth at the Chamber by putting him in a tag match, which is fine because Cody can do most of the work, take most of the bumps, and Rock and Roman the Rock can get some of that ring rust.
But what does the match mean, Drew? What does that match mean?
Right?
What is the reason for the match happening? Is there an end goal at the end of that match?
That's why we have 10,000 people sitting watching us live, which I'm super appreciative. And I know
If we hit 10,000, man, that would be an all-time record.
Well, we're at 9,300, so let's get to 10K. It's the best duo in the game. Listen, I do a shtick on here and I have an ego on here, but outside of here, Andrew Vidal is a very humble and thankful man, and I am. Truthfully, but I have to. This is a show. We have to do our jobs here. Nobody's breaking this down.
Fun fact. I was going to tell this guy I didn't want to do this thing tonight.
Let's not even go back this mother trucker. Let's do this.
I'm going to tell him everything on live for, man. We talked about everything on Tuesday, and we got fucking 9,300 people in here.
JD goes to me. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, we're going to the press conference."
Don't even give the excuse. I don't even want the bill. Don't even tell.
No, I'm not giving you the excuse. JD, I want to go to the press conference. No, I'm not going. Okay. Why? Not going. Why? All right, whatever. We go live. Save me the trip to Vegas. Can we go live? You really think we're gonna get there many people? I guarantee we get a lot of people. 9,300. Anyway, listen. Happy to be doing it. We break things down like nobody else. This is why this is the best duo in the game. I don't say that because it's me. I say it because it's the truth. If people were better, I'd take a back seat. There's nobody better. The only person doing this type of stuff better than us is Pat McAfee. That's it. Again, we don't know what Seth is doing. We don't know what Cody's doing. We don't even know what Roman and Rock are doing. So we got the graphic. We'll have to wait and see. I think that The Rock is going to work Australia. I do believe that. I've said that for a while now. I thought Roman and Rock would work. Everyone's like, that match needs to happen at WrestleMania. It sure as shit seems it now. I still believe that The Rock and Roman Reigns are on a collision course for WrestleMania. I think that The Rock and Roman right now can look like they're allies. I'm just going to break this down because nobody else does it like us. I think The Rock and Roman look at each other right now as allies because there's one common denominator, and it is that Cody Rhodes disrespected and Seth Rollins disrespected their family. But I would be shocked if we get a tag match in Perth or we get Cody versus Rock that we don't see something where there's a crack and those two, Roman and Rock, get on a collision course. The tag match would work. What works is a very smart writer. What you can have is those two get into a tag match. Rock, is trying to do what he does, and Roman turns on him, leaves him high and dry. There's just so many ways to go about this, but I don't think we're getting a triple threat. You should want it at WrestleMania.
We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna save my opinion on where I think this is all going because I just got a super chat here. I'm gonna read this one. This one is very telling. It's $4.99 from ME3. I know. In the backstage segment, Roman was standing behind The Rock. We've never seen Roman stand behind anybody. They are already foreshadowed. That's the thing. Listen, conference tonight from Las Vegas. But I want to thank you guys for joining us. We got 9,200 people in here, 2,000 likes, on our way to 2,000 likes. You guys are getting these super chats at a rapid pace. Get them on in. If you guys got any questions, Drew and I will be happy to answer them at the end of the show. If you guys want to follow us, you know where to find us. To lead to this. So
And
you can't change it.
And remember when I told everybody on TNT this past Tuesday, I said The Rock is going to position himself and his family high, and he's going to make sure that they all eat. He showed you a goddamn tree today.
That was pretty fucking awesome. I got it.
It was, but I'm just saying, like, they are telling you that this is the family now in WWE. Whether you like it or you don't, you will learn to love it, because The Rock is going to put not only his cousins, he's going to put his great aunt, nieces, uncles, brothers, sisters, distant cousin at the top of this card, and that's what's happening. You're going to get Solo, you're going to get Russo, you're going to get Roman, you're going to get Dwayne, you're going to get Nia, all of them. All of them.
Alright, I'm gonna end the video. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back for more. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Mr. Black Hammer, 2021. I'll see y'all later. I made this video long enough. Until next time.